So the AUDJPY, let me look for it. Okay, now this is the AUDJPY. In fact, this one is so perfect because you see that the reversal took place exactly on the Fibonacci 61.8. You know, so if you entered, if you're taking this trade somewhere just around the Fibonacci 38, you will have made a 61 pips, or let's just say 60 pips here, and 820, that's 180 pips, clean and neat. All right, currently price is forming an inverse head and shoulder, head. Now, if you are not on a trade, please don't take any fresh trade today. If you're not on any trade as at this moment, don't take any fresh trade, because the news will come up by 1:30 p.m. You don't know what direction it's going to go. So I will advise you stay out.
Is it 1:30 or 12:30, sir?
It's 1:30. It's 1:30. NFP is 1:30 p.m. Just check your Forex factory and set it to your local time. It's 1:30 p.m.
So does the NFP affect, I thought the NFP affects only dollar and not other currencies.
NFP can affect all currencies. It's the most volatile news in FX. Though with sincerity, these days it's not really as volatile as it used to be some years back. Some years back, within some seconds, it can jump 100, 200 pips, and across board, you will see all currencies react to it.
Okay.
Yeah, because you see, the dollar is the most traded currency in the world. So there's no how something will affect the dollar that it will not cut across all other currencies. Yeah. Same thing, FOMC likewise. And FOMC talks about the interest rate in the US. You know.
Okay.
Yeah, that one too.
I've been trying to download the this thing on Google Play. I'm not even seeing it. Forex Factory.
Forex Factory. I'm not sure if they just go to your browser now.
In my browser, I can get it, but to set it on a local time is what I don't know how to do.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Hello, I'm with you.
Yeah. You know, there are some news that comes out with data. Why some don't come out with data? For example, maybe if the central bank governor of a maybe particular country is speaking. Now, how do you know the result of the news since there's no data to back it up?
If a news, many times those kind of news, they are like maybe statements, you know, or they're having a meeting and the likes. Now, since Forex Factory is not giving you any data, the only way you can get data for such news is probably you watch some very big news channels like Bloomberg, CNBC, and co. Sometimes some of those news, you know, they release it on those stations. However, if you don't have access to those kind of news, I will advise stay out, because you don't know what direction is going to go. Because that kind of a news, you need to hear what they are saying to determine what the market will do. And there are two terms that will come up when they are talking in that news: the word hawkish and dovish. Hawkish is the same thing as when you say the market is going bullish. Dovish is the same thing as when the market is going bearish. So when you're listening to that news, that's what you should be listening to hear. Once you hear, okay, and after then the dollar is going to go hawkish, you should know they are saying the thing will go buy. Then you can take a buy. But advice, if you cannot be timely to watch the news, just stay out. See, there are a lot of trades in FX. If you miss some, you will get some others. But if you are really interested in learning how to trade it, you just have to get those news channels and know and watch it, and you know, live when they have that meeting coming up what to do.
Do they have a website?
Please, where can we watch? Where do we watch the news, the live news? Is it still on Forex Factory? Sir?
No, you don't get that on Forex Factory. Go to www.bloomberg.com.
Oh, okay.
Bloomberg, BLOOMBERG.
All right, sir.
Yeah, they have a TV channel. That means you have to subscribe. See, for those who take news, Forex trading as a real business, they also invest a lot of money to get results. So you might have to subscribe maybe on the, I don't know if which channel you get that on DSTV. I don't know what package, but I know CNBC is on DSTV. You can get CNBC. So you subscribe to the package where you can get the news and watch it. Then sometimes breaking news from CNN can also help. In fact, those are the tools that people who are pure fundamental traders, those are the things they use to get information on what to trade. So I hope I answered the question.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So
yeah, sorry, please. I'm also on that JPY, sir. I'm on a buy. Now, will you advise me to just I have a drawdown. Should I close the drawdown or I should still wait?
Well, technically, we are seeing an inverse head and shoulder. I hope you can see my screen. So
yes,
it's believed it will still go up technically. So I would say you may still, as long as your drawdown is not much, you can say hold on. But if see, this is now on your discretion. If you, excuse me, if you know your drawdown is appreciable, but you can still close the trade, maybe do. But for now, technically, we might still see some retracements. You can see some bullish movement. It may not be much. So you don't expect any serious bullish movement on any currency now until after the NFP, because all countries are waiting for the release of that news. And that's why on NFP days, the market is always quiet until the release of the news. So even though it's inverse head and shoulder, it may go up for some pips. If it goes up for some pips and it's reasonable enough for you to close the trade, at least you've recovered some little profit. Well, you can, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Someone is asking me to analyze New Zealand USD and GDP USD. You know, I think once we do that, we'll try to round off for today. Okay, before I do that, lest I forget, I'm seeing some very powerful setup. Now, I've not really been talking about indices, but then I just was scanning through the market yesterday, and I can see some powerful setup on indices ahead of this NFP. Whatever you're seeing in the market today is ahead of the NFP, you know. And sometimes these patterns can determine the direction or can forecast ahead the direction the NFP will go after, or any major news will go after the release. Now I can see a very good setup here, a very good rising wedge on US 2000. On US 2000, you can see it. This is 4 hour, it's a swing trade. And if you zoom down to the weekly time frame, you discover that price actually last week, or sorry, some weeks back rather, closed hitting a resistance level here. Let's zoom down to daily. Okay, now this is the daily time frame. Now you can watch out for, now all the essence of all this analysis is so that you can know ahead what you can trade. Price hits a resistance level here, a support. So this is support turn resistance here, it's sold, and now price is on that same level, and it's even forming a rising wedge. And you can see it's already facing downwards. Now take note, I am not saying you should take a trade now. Please don't get me wrong. Don't say, and you can see on 1 hour, just like gold. This is like another case of gold, and a head and shoulder. See, when the news is finally released, there's a possibility of a breakout of this trade. And in the coming weeks or next week, we should expect to see some very sharp drop on US 2000. Yes, from a technical perspective, yes, I can confidently say that once there's a breakout. Now, the reason why I'm confident is that if price is unable to break this level, we took it right from the weekly to daily time frame, and on 4 hour rising wedge, on 1 hour head and shoulder. Let's just wait out. Let me not say more than that. This will likely sell. It will likely sell. And likewise, NAS 100. So if indices trading is your thing, you can look at these instruments. If you're okay with currency, it's fine. You can stick with it. But if you trade indices, this is another likely trade for you. This one too is the same thing on the daily time frame, just like the other one. Price. Okay, let me go to weekly. All right, so on the weekly time frame, we saw that price hits the support level right here, a support, and currently it's turning to a resistance. So if price is unable to break this level, then we are to expect a massive drop, a massive drop. Maybe it's today or latest next week, Monday, we should see a lot of reasons to start trading this instrument. So I'm bearish biased on New Zealand, sorry, on NAS 100 and the US 2000. So you can watch those instruments. But then I also want to sound a caution. Indices can be very volatile. So trade them with very small lot size. They can be very volatile, really, really volatile. Let me give you an understanding of this. If you are to set your levels or take profit level, let's assume there's a breakout below this point. We are seeing the potential to 50 is about 912 pips. That tells you how volatile it can be. To 51.8, that's a 1,184 pips. So don't say because this trade, man, you now go and put one standard lot. I didn't teach you that. Trade with zero, probably 0.01, because what if anything happens and it goes back up? Don't always look at the profits, look at the risk also. So that's it about that. So we'll look at New Zealand, USD, and GBP USD and we close. This is what I'm saying. Okay, I don't know. Pardon me. I don't know if you're familiar with Melo. I did not say after the news jump on US 2000 and NAS 100. I did not say that, please. Please, I didn't say that. You still need to respect the breakout. You still need to wait for the breakout of the candle to happen, and that's why I'm drawing all these patterns. If I don't know when you joined us, for you to trade a breakout, you need to wait for a candle that comes out completely outside of the setup, completely breaking out of it. That's why it's called breakout. So what if the news is released and it doesn't move the market and you jump on it and price decides to go up? So even though you are seeing a setup, you need to wait for clear entry points before you can take a trade. Let's take note of that. Adekoye Shegun. Okay, I'll drop it in a group. All right, then. Thanks for understanding. Just a minute, please. Somebody sent something. All right. I think this chat is open to all, so we can see. If you see what Mr. Said Akombi said, is just to corroborate what Mr. Ritin is saying. Indices wiped out my 500,000 naira account yesterday within an hour of entering the trade, mistakenly on one standard lot. You see, I intended 0.1 lot, but eventually all 500K wiped out in less than an hour. So that's as a disclaimer. I didn't say jump on the trade after NFP. Wait for a proper breakout before you take the trade. And to protect your account, use 0.01 lot. Don't always try to make all the profit on one trade. It can be very risky. See, if you've been following us for some weeks now, you saw that we have generated hundreds of pips from all this analysis. So even if you are using 0.01, by now you'll have made some $100, which is reasonable. It's reasonable. Except you're having a fat account, fine, you can aim for bigger profit. So if you want to make more money in FX, what I always advise is that you top up your account. If you are trading with $300, you can't expect to make the kind of profit somebody that's trading $5,000 is taking. No. So the bigger your trading capital, the more profit, because the person doing $5,000 He can trade 0.2 lots, and on 100 pips, he has made $200. While you on $300, maybe you're trading 0.01. On 100, 200, 100 pips rather, you're just making like $10 or $20. So if you want more money, what you do is actually not being aggressive with trades, but increasing your account balance and still trading with small lot size. That's the best way. That's the best way to protect your account. Okay.
Hello, sir. Sorry.
Yes.
Please, I have a question, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, let's assume the NFT news is telling us to, or let me say, the news is against the dollar.
Okay.
Now, at what particular price can we jump in?
Now,
and if it's in favor of the dollar, what particular price can we enter the market? Let's say in gold.
Okay, let me go to the setup on gold.
Okay, sir.
Now this is gold on 1 hour time frame. On higher time frames, I still affirm that for me, I'm bearish biased on gold. I've dropped the analysis on the daily time frame, on 4 hours or 1 hour. I've done a proper top-down analysis on gold, and all of it is pointing to a potential sell trade on gold. Mark my word, I said potential. I am not United States. You know, as I said, what comes out at the end of the day is still going to depend on the outcome of the news. But I've done my work as a technical analyst. I've analyzed the market structure, the price movement, everything. According to my knowledge, I'm expecting a sell. So now, in reality, this is going to be a long-term trade, meaning it's a rising wedge on 4 hour. Normally, if you have to trade this, you wait for a breakout of price out of, you can see my screen, sir, out of the trend line here. However, on 1 hour, we cited a head and shoulder pattern. Now, if the price comes out with the dollar, favoring the dollar, that means we expect gold to sell. Now, because we also have a head and shoulder pattern here, well, you may sell, but please don't use one standard lot. Use 0.01. Even if you have $500, $1,000 in your account, use 0.01. Because NFP sometimes there could be spike. It may just decide to go up for like 100 pips before coming down. That's why I say for me, mostly some of these news days, I don't even bother myself trading. I wait for when the market is quiet. There's nothing to rush about. By Monday, the market will be quiet enough for you to take any trade. So if you know your mind cannot carry the rush of NFP, stay out of it. Don't give yourself high blood pressure because of NFP. Sometimes some of the best way to trade Forex is even when the market is quiet, not when there's a lot of rush and a lot of buzz. But our personalities are different as individuals. So if you know your personality can carry it, well, wait, you can take it, but use small lot size. In fact, it's always advisable to use a smaller lot size with news trading compared to when you're trading with technical analysis. Because a statement after the news can change all the direction altogether. So I still affirm I'm bearish biased, and if you have to trade it, use very small lot size. But if price ever breaks above, you can see this is my white resistance line. If price ever breaks above this level, sir,
yes, sir,
it's going to be a buy. Because on the daily, we saw that on the daily time frame, the channel has been broken. So whatever pushes price above this resistance line, sir, is a buy. So we're on the brink between two decisions in gold, either a buy or a sell. And there's the news that will determine how it goes.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, you said, at times we have fake out.
Yes.
Now, if let's assume it breaks out of that particular white line.
Yes, sir.
How do we know if it's a fake? Do we wait for a retest before enter? Or we should look for a confirmation candle?
Well, maybe I would say a confirmation candle would be better.
On what hour?
A combination.
Yes, sir. On what hour do we look for the confirmation candle? Is it on 30 minutes? You know, at times you have a confirmation candle in 15 minutes. And in 1 hour, it has not even formed.
You know what I was saying?
What hour is the best? Okay, sir.
I trade what works for me. And the least time frame I trade is 1 hour.
Okay, sir.
That's the least I trade. Now, if you have to trade this from experience, if price ever breaks out of this, if it's a fake out, to wait for it to retest that support level and probably form a candlestick pattern that will show you that there'll be a continuation. Maybe it forms a pin bar. Then you can take a bullish, or it can be a pin bar, it can be a double top, double bottom, inverse head and shoulder. Then you can take a buy.
Okay, sir.
So that's what I can advise on this. I hope I answered.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know the truth about FX is this. Let me explain this all. Sometimes what works for A may not work for B, and that does not mean both of them are wrong. That's the truth. Sometimes what works for you may not work for me. That doesn't mean you are wrong. That doesn't mean I'm wrong. We are only looking at it from different perspectives. You know. Okay, so I think it's already 10 o'clock. We need to round up now. So I'll do the analysis on New Zealand USD and GBP USD and we'll close. I think I saw, okay, this is GBP USD. Yes, now GBP USD, I don't know, it's behaving very funny this week. You know, on the long term, we expected, I analyzed on the long term that we're expecting a bullish movement. On the monthly time frame, you know, for those who are just joining us, I analyzed that GBP USD is forming an inverse head and shoulder. The inverse first shoulder completed, edge completed. Second shoulder is what we're seeing now. And the price ended up last month on a pin bar. So we're expecting a bullish movement. Now, yesterday, GBP released an interest rate, and the forecast was that it was going to be bullish, which we expected the GBP USD and GBP, all GBP pairs to go bullish. However, the rates remained the same. The rates did not change. If the rate had been increased, then we'll have seen a sharp bullish movement on GBP USD. But then GBP USD is still trading on this, you know, the support level on the monthly time frame is still a support on this level. But then on 4 hours, currently, we are seeing a channel rising wedge. Let me confirm. Okay, now we are seeing a channel. It's a channel. Meaning with the channel, we are expecting a breakout downwards. So this is what I would say. If price ever breaks this support level, GBP USD will sell, because also this is a head. I'm not doing it clearly. We can have a minor sell before the major bullish movement. And all this also depends on the outcome of the NFP today. This is a head and a shoulder. So if price ever breaks this support, then it will sell. But if price is unable to break this support level, then we might be expecting a bullish movement. But then because price on the support level alone does not mean you have to buy. You need to wait for a lot of confirmations, a lot of setup before you can decide to take a buy on the GBP USD. So if the news today comes out to favor the dollar will buy and the GBP USD is expected to sell. But then it must break this neckline, which is the monthly support, is a neckline for the head and shoulder, but equally the monthly support. If price breaks that level, then we'll see a massive sell on GBP USD. So that's the analysis on GBP USD. So I'll take New Zealand USD finally and we'll close there. Now, New Zealand USD is trading in a rising wedge. Currently, there's no pattern here, so we can't give any definite forecast. It can go either ways. It can either come down and go up, or it may go up and come down. It's just in between at the moment. Basically, our nursing mothers, let's mute our devices. So I think it's even ranging. If you go down to 1 hour, it's ranging at the moment. So we don't have a clear analysis on New Zealand USD at the moment. Okay, I think with this, we have come to the end of the analysis today. About 2 people have asked for my number. I'll drop it. Okay, let me call it out and I'll also drop it in the comments section. For those who want to take it out, 081 4310 6420. I'll take it again, 081 4310 6420. And please, if any of our staff invited you on this platform, make sure you sign up with that person that invited you. It's very important. If you are here to sign up on our platform, sign up through the person that invited you to the platform. All right. Okay, my name is Rotimi. I'll drop it in the comment section again, Rotimi. And my number is 081 431 6420. All right, I've dropped it. You can see it there. All right, thanks everyone. We'll see you again on Monday. Please trade safe and keep making tips. Bye.